For centuries, one rule protected the most powerful people on earth: you don't touch the head of state. Kings, presidents, dictators, they were untouchable. But in January 2026, that rule may have officially died with Nicolas Maduro. So how did international law go from above the law to global manhunt? Let's break it down. For centuries, international law followed one principle: par in parim, non habet imperium, equals have no power over equals. A head of state wasn't just a person, they were the state. Arresting one meant declaring war. This was called absolute sovereign immunity. It covered everything: official acts, private conduct, even atrocities. And the excuse sounded reasonable. If leaders fear arrest, diplomacy collapses. But then the 20th century happened. After World War II, the world said, enough. At Nuremberg, Nazi leaders tried the old excuse: I was just doing my job. The tribunal responded: official position is not a defense for crimes against humanity. For the first time, world leaders were held personally responsible. The shield cracked. Then came Manuel Noriega. In 1989, the US invaded Panama, not for diplomacy, but to arrest a sitting head of state. Noriega was flown to Florida, tried, convicted. A message was sent: sovereignty has limits. In 1998, Pinochet pushed the law even further. A former dictator arrested in London on a Spanish warrant. The UK House of Lords ruled: torture is not protected by sovereign immunity. Universal jurisdiction was no longer theory, it was practice. Then came the International Criminal Court. Omar al-Bashir, sitting president, charged with genocide. Vladimir Putin, sitting president, charged with war crimes. Heads of state were no longer untouchable, they were indicted. Which brings us to Maduro 2026. This wasn't diplomacy, this was apprehension. No sanctions, no negotiations, a kinetic extraction, justified under universal jurisdiction and narco-terrorism indictments. Supporters call it judicial accountability, critics call it a violation of the UN Charter. And that's the real issue. Because international law is now at a crossroads: sovereignty or accountability, stability or justice. One thing is clear: the age of untouchable leaders is over, and the question is no longer if heads of state can be arrested, but who's next. Follow and subscribe for more law, power, and global accountability explained.